concerned with oxygen. The process is a fusion welding process wherein joint is completely melted to obtain the fusion. The fuel gas generally used in acetylene because of the high pressure temperature generated in the flame, and this type of, and the process is called as a oxyacetylene welding. The characteristics of fuel gas, that is, the gas is acetylene, its chemical formula is C2H2, the flame temperature in degree centigrade is 3100. The propylene, the chemical formula is C3H6, its flame temperature is 2500 degrees C. Third one is propane, its chemical formula is C3H8, its flame temperature is 2450 degrees centigrade. Fifth is the hydrogen, its chemical formula is H2, its flame temperature is 2390 degrees centigrade. And the natural gas, its chemical formula is CH4 plus H2, and its flame temperature is 2350 degree centigrade. The principle of operation of oxyacetylene welding is that when acetylene is mixed with oxygen in correct proportion in the welding torch and ignited, the flame is produced which is sufficiently hot to melt and join the parent metal. The temperature of flame is about 3100 degrees centigrade. A filler rod is generally added to build up the seam for greater strength. So the oxyacetylene welding may be classified as high pressure oxyacetylene welding and low pressure oxyacetylene welding. In the high pressure oxyacetylene welding, in case of the high pressure oxyacetylene gas welding, the acetylene gas is supplied from the acetylene cylinder in the compressed form. Whereas in the low pressure gas welding, the acetylene gas is supplied from the generator at low pressure, and in the generator calcium carbide stone is added in the chamber in which water is already present, and the calcium carbide stone reacts with the water and produce acetylene gas, and this type of gas can be easily collected from the top of the water and can be used for welding purposes. Now there are three types of flames generally obtained from the oxyacetylene welding. First one is called the neutral flame. A neutral flame is produced when oxygen to acetylene ratio is 1.1 to 1. A neutral flame is produced when oxygen to acetylene ratio is 1.1 to 1, and the temperature is of the order of about 5900 degree Fahrenheit, or we can say 3200 degree centigrade. The flame has nicely defined inner cone that is light blue in color, and it's surrounded by outer envelope which is dark blue in color than the inner cone. It is called natural because it will not oxide or carburize the metal, and it is used for welding of mild steel, stainless steel, copper, cast iron and aluminum, etc., etc. Second is the oxidizing flame. After the neutral flame, if the supply of oxygen is further increased, hello, नमस्ते, लकी जी, हम 12 बजे बात करेंगे. Sorry. After the neutral flame, if the supply of oxygen is further increased, the result will be an oxidizing flame. And its inner cone is more pointed. Outer flame envelope is much shorter. It burns with a loud roar, and the temperature is of the order of about 6300 degree Fahrenheit because of excess of oxygen. So complete combustion takes place. And this type of flame is harmful for steels because it oxidized the steels. And only in the welding of copper and copper based alloys, oxidizing flame is desirable because in those cases a thin protective layer of slag forms over the molten metal. Third flame is that the reducing flame. The reducing flame is that if the volume of oxygen supplied to the neutral flame is reduced, the resulting flame will be a carburizing or reducing flame, that is rich in acetylene. In this type of flame, acetylene feeder exists between the inner cone and the outer envelope, and the temperature is of the order of about 5500 degrees C, that is less because it does not completely consume the available carbon. Metals that tends to absorb carbon should not be welded with reducing flame, and the carburizing flame contains more acetylene than a reducing flame. So remember, carburizing flame is also called as a reducing flame. So there are only 3 types of flames. Carburizing flames is also called as a reducing flames. So the carburizing flames contains more acetylene than a reducing flame. So the carburizing flame is used for the welding of lead and for carburizing surface hardening purposes, and the reducing flame is used with low alloy steel rod for welding high carbon steel. The welding operation is that to ignite a flame, the process is that open the acetylene control valve of welding torch, and after the system has been flushed clean of air, the gas is ignited. At this stage, enough of oxygen is drawn in the form of the atmosphere to burn acetylene partially, and the acetylene control valve of the welding torch is then opened in order to adjust the proportion in which acetylene and oxygen are required to mix and burn. And the flame adjustment will be done according to our requirement of flame. Now to extinguish the flame and the stop welding. So when the welding or cutting operation is finished, close the torch acetylene valve first, and then turn off the torch of oxygen. When the welding or cutting operation is finished, close the torch acetylene valve first, and then turn off the torch oxygen valve. Then close the oxygen cylinder valve. Then release the pressure in the hose and regulator by opening the oxygen control valve on the torch, and release the pressure on the oxygen. Hello, हाँ यूनिस, कॉलेज आ गए आप, कितना बजे मिले? 12:30 तक आइए ना आप। ठीक। Release the pressure in the valves and regulator by opening the oxygen control valve on the torch, and release the pressure on the oxygen regulator by turning the regulator to the minimum pressure positions, and close the oxygen control valve on the torch, and repeat the same procedure uh, uh, for acetylene. There are generally the techniques of welding depending upon the ways in which welding rod and the welding torch can be used. There are two useful techniques used in gas welding. One is called leftward technique, or it is also called as a forehand welding method. Second one is called rightward technique, and it is also called as a backhand welding method. So in the leftward technique, the welder starts at the right hand end of the joint and proceeds towards the left. Second, the welding flame is directed away from the finished weld, and the welding torch is given small sideways movements while the filler rod is moved steadily across the seam, and the good control and neat appearance are obtained, and it preheats the joint, and if the workpiece thickness is more than 3 mm, bevel of plates is necessary, and included angle of V joint is 80 to 90 degrees, so it is not economical. And when the weld is recommended, the tip of the rod causes weld contamination. In the case of rightward welding, welding begins at the left hand end of the joint and proceeds towards the right, hence the name right hand welding. The torch flame is directed towards the completed weld, and since the flame is constantly directed on the edges of the V ahead of the weld puddle, so no sidewise motion of the torch is necessary, which results narrow V groove, that is 30 degrees of bevel. So the welder's view of the weld pool and the sides of the bottom of the V groove is unbrusted, so better control is possible. The weld quality is better. Smaller total volume of deposited metal reduces shrinkage and distortion, and because of less consumption of filler rod, cost of welding is less. The gas welding equipments are one is the oxygen gas cylinder. So the oxygen cylinders are painted black, and the oxygen gas cylinders are painted black, and valve outlets are screwed right-handed. Second one is the acetylene cylinder. The acetylene cylinder is painted maroon, and the valves are screwed left-handed to make this easily recognizable, and they are chamfered or grooved. Third one is the oxygen and acetylene pressure regulators. So the pressure of the gases obtained from cylinders, generators is considerably higher than the gas pressure used to operate the welding torch, and the purposes of using a gas pressure regulator is therefore to reduce the high pressure of the gas in the cylinder to suitable working pressure, and to produce a steady flow of gas under varying cylinder pressures, and a pressure regulator is fitted with two pressure gauges, one for gas pressure in the cylinder and the other shows the reduced pressure at which the gas is coming out. And another is that a pressure regulator is connected between the cylinder and the hose leading to the welding torch. Next one is the oxygen and acetylene gas hoses and the hose connections. The hoses is that the hose for the supply of oxygen to the welding torch is colored blue and has right-handed thread connections, whereas the acetylene hose is colored red and has left-hand connections with chamfers or grooves on the nuts. The hose clamps is that a metal clamp is attached, a metal clamp is used to attach the welding hose to a nipple. The clamp squeezes the hose around the nipple to prevent it from working loose. The hose couplers are these are the hose couplers are used to join two pieces of welding hoses. Next one is the welding torch or blowpipe. The oxygen and the fuel gases having been reduced in pressure by the gas regulators and are fed through suitable hoses to a welding torch, which mixes and controls the flow of gases to the welding nozzle or tip, where the gas mixture is burnt to produce a flame for carrying out gas welding operations. So there are two types of welding torches. One is called high pressure, or it is also called equal type, or another one is called low pressure, is also called as a injector type. Next equipments are trolleys for the transportation of oxygen and acetylene cylinders. Next one is the set of keys and spanners. Another is the filler rods and fluxes. Next one is the gas lighter. Another one is the protective clothing for the welder. Example as asbestos apron, gloves, goggles, etc., etc. The advantages of gas welding is that it can be applied to a wide variety of manufacturing and maintenance situations. And the rate of heating and cooling of weld deposit and job is slow. No electric current is required. Another is that the equipment is having less cost. Operator is having better control because sources of heat and filler metals are separate. Next one is the cost and maintenance of the welding equipment is low. Some of the disadvantages of the gas weldings are the flame temperature is less than the temperature of the arc. The flame temperature is less than the temperature of the arc, and refractory metals, that is tungsten, molybdenum, or etc., and the reactive metals, that is titanium, zirconium, cannot be gas welded, and the gas flame takes a long time to heat up the metal than an arc, and the heat affected zone is wider. And acetylene, oxygen gases are rather expensive, we can say, and the storage of gases is not safe. More safety is needed, and the more skilled operators are required to operate the welding. The various applications of gas welding are that it is used for welding of mild steel, stainless steel, copper, cast iron, high carbon steel, etc., etc. It is used for joining thin materials in automatic and aircraft industries, in sheet metal fabricating plants. So these are the major applications of gas welding. Now coming to the comparison between high pressure and low pressure oxyacetylene gas welding. So in the high pressure system, the acetylene gas is supplied from acetylene gas cylinder in compressed form at a very high pressure. Whereas in a low pressure system, the acetylene gas is supplied from acetylene generator at low pressure. In high pressure system, the acetylene is in purified and in dried form, whereas in low pressure system the acetylene is purified through purifiers and then dried. In high pressure system, plant is more safer, whereas in low pressure system plant is less safe as the chances of leakage are always and there is generator connections. In high pressure system, plant is neat and clean, whereas in low pressure system, lot of cleanness is needed in generating the acetylene gas. In high pressure system, hydraulic back pressure valve is not required, whereas in low pressure system, hydraulic back pressure valve is must. In high pressure system, high working efficiency, whereas in low pressure system, less working efficiency. Next one is in the high pressure system, two reducing valves are used, one for oxygen and other for acetylene, whereas in low pressure system, only one reducing valve is used, that is for oxygen welding. So this one is the comparison between high pressure and the low pressure oxyacetylene welding. Now the air acetylene welding is that in the air in this type of welding, heat is obtained from a gas flame from the combustion of gas with air without the application of pressure and with or without the use of a filler metal. And the air acetylene torch operates on the Bunsen burner principle, that is acetylene is following under pressure through Bunsen jet and aspirates the appropriate amount of air for the combustion purposes. And the acetylene is obtained from a cylinder through a pressure regulator and a hose, and it is used for soft soldering, silver brazing, etc., etc. Some of the safety precautions are while working in the gas welding shop. So these are: the gas cylinder should be stored in a ventilated and dry places. A gas cylinder should be stored in ventilated dry places. A cap must be fitted on the cylinder within a cap must be fitted on the cylinder while it is not in use. Before connecting the pressure regulator to a cylinder valve, the valve shall be opened slightly and closed immediately. Before connecting the pressure regulator to a cylinder valve, the valve shall be opened slightly and closed immediately. Gas torches and tips should be stored in clean boxes. Either a hardwood stick or a soft brass wire should be used to remove the slag accumulated at the blowpipe tip. During working, if the tip becomes overheated, it is cooled by dipping the torch into the water and close the acetylene valve, but leave a little oxygen flowing. Use the pressure regulator only for the gas, only for that gas for which it is intended, and the pressure should be proper. And never use oxygen hose for acetylene or vice versa. And the clamp should be used for all hose fittings, and never allow the hose to come into the contact into oil or greases. And any combustible or inflammable material should not be placed near welding. Fire extinguisher or sand should be available at hand, and use goggles with no inflammable lenses and frames. Use a spark lighter for lightening the torch, and if welding or cutting is to be stopped temporarily, release the pressure adjusting screws of the regulators by turning them to the left, and don't pick up hot jobs or objects. So these are the major safety precautions while working in the gas welding shops. Now coming to the arc welding. So the arc welding is that the arc welding is widely used method of joining the metal parts. Arc welding is widely used method for joining the metal parts. The source of heat is an electric arc, and the arc welding is a group of welding processes wherein heating is produced with an electric arc or arcs, mostly without the application of pressure, and with or without the use of filler metal, depending upon the base plate thickness. So the various arc welding processes are carbon arc welding, flux shielded metal arc welding, TIG welding, MIG welding. TIG is also called as a GTAW. MIG is also called as a GMAW. Submerged arc welding, electro slag welding, electro gas welding, plasma arc welding. Now the coming to the arc welding principle. In the arc welding, the arc is generated between the positive pole of DC, that is direct current, called anode, and negative pole of DC called cathode. When these two poles are brought together and separated for a small distances, that is 1.5 to 3 mm, such that the current continues to flow through a path of ionized particles called plasma, and electric arc is formed. Since the resistance of this ionized gas column is high, so more ions will flow from anode to the cathode. So the heat is generated as the ions strike the cathode. The various arc welding equipments are the most commonly used equipment for arc welding are AC or DC power supply source, electrode holder, electrode, cable connections, cable lug, chipping hammer, earthing clamp, wire brush, helmet, safety goggles, hand gloves, aprons, sleeves, etc., etc. Now comes to the what is a DC or AC machines. So depending upon the applications, AC or DC machines are used in arc welding, but in some cases either of them can be used. So the DC supply is usually obtained from generators driven by electric motor, or if no electricity is available, then diesel engine can be used. So the DC welding is mostly used for heavy work and the sites where electricity is not available. Where supply mains are available and AC source transformers are used, and the function of transformer is to step down the voltage from 440 volts to the normal open circuit welding voltage, that is 80 to 100 volts. So there is no fixed polarity at the terminals when using AC, and they interchange in every cycle, and also the alternating current acquires zero value twice in each cycle with the result. At this particular moment of the potential difference between the terminals is also zero, and a higher voltage is required to maintain the arc at this moment. So the polarity is very significant factor in all DC welding works. So if the voltage current relationship exists for arc welding processes, it would be noted that for a given spacing and electrode material, voltage reduces up to current 50 ampere and starts increasing gradually and very slowly with further increases in current, and the relationship determines the characteristics of the power source. If the electric power supply usually has a dropping characteristics, that is with increase in current voltage drops, the drop may be either sharply dropping or neatly flat depending upon the type of power supply source. So here is now the comparison between AC and DC. The use of AC in arc welding and use of DC in arc welding. So in the use of AC in arc welding, no load voltage is frequently too high, up to 70 volt. That is why it is more dangerous. Whereas use of DC in arc welding is that no load voltage is low, so it is safer. Second one is use of AC in arc welding is that an AC welding transformer is cheaper and simple in operation. An AC welding transformer is cheaper and simple in operation, whereas in the use of DC in arc welding, or DC generator set is costlier and more cumbersome in operation. Use of AC in arc welding, the maintenance of transformer is easier because of no moving parts, whereas use of DC in arc welding, the maintenance cost is more because of many moving parts. Next one, the use of AC in arc welding, efficiency of transformer is high, that is advantageous, whereas the use of DC in arc welding, efficiency of transformer is low, so high cost of electrical energy. Next one is the use of AC in arc welding. It is less suitable for use at low current with a small diameter electrodes, whereas the use of DC in arc welding, it is better suited for use at low amperes with small diameter electrodes. Use of AC in arc welding, the bare electrodes can be used in AC welding, whereas the use of DC in arc welding, both bare and coated electrodes can be used. The use of AC in arc welding, arc glow is not there, whereas the use of DC in arc welding, arc glow is there unless proper correctiveness measures are not adopted. And the use of AC in arc welding, polarity concept is not present, whereas use of DC in arc welding, polarity concept is present and can be used advantageously. The use of AC in arc welding, the welding of non-ferrous metals is not possible, whereas use of DC in arc welding, welding is non-ferrous metal, welding of non-ferrous metals is possible. And last is the use of AC in arc welding. It can be used only when AC main supply is available, whereas use of DC in arc welding and engine-driven DC generator set can be used in the absence of AC main supply, that is electricity. So these are the comparison between AC and the DC. Now comes to the what is polarity. So the polarity is defined as the type of potential given to the workpiece or electrode. Polarity is defined as the type of potential given to the workpiece or electrode. In case of direct current, shortly known as DC, power source, positive and negative terminals are fixed, whereas in case of alternating current, AC, power source, positive and negative terminals are not fixed. That is, the terminal which is positive during one half of cycle becomes negative in another half. So polarity principle is applicable only in case of direct current power source. Remember these points. The polarity principle is applicable only in case of direct power source. Polarity are there are two types of polarity. One is called straight polarity. So in the straight polarity, the electrode is having negative terminal while workpiece is connected to the positive terminal of the direct current power source. In straight polarity, the electrode is having negative terminal while workpiece is connected to the positive terminal of the direct current power source. Next one is the reverse polarity. In the reverse polarity, electrode is connected to positive terminal, whereas the workpiece is connected to the negative terminal of the direct current power source. In the reverse polarity, electrode is connected to the positive terminal, whereas the workpiece is connected to the negative terminal of the direct current power source. The application of polarity is that about 2/3, or we can say 67% of the total heat produced during welding is generated at the positive terminal, while rest of the total heat is generated at the negative terminal. So if our job is thick, means we want more heat on workpiece, so we connect workpiece to the positive terminal, hence we adopt straight polarity. Similarly, if the job is thin, we want less heat on the job, so we connect workpiece to the negative terminal, hence we adopt reverse polarity. So in our electrode is non-consumable, means we want less heat on electrode generally, so cannot connect to the negative terminal. That is the use of straight polarity for doing welding. Next one is that the arc crater. So what is the meaning of arc crater? So because the arc crater is that because of the penetration of electric arc into the parent metal, small depression will be formed in the parent metal around which molten metal is piled up, known as the arc crater, and its depth depends upon the thickness of the parent metal. Operator judge the arc penetration by observing the depth. If arc is broken, defect will occur. Therefore, care should be taken to prevent the defect. The arc length is that the distance between the center of the arc from the tip of the electrode to the bottom of the arc crater is termed as arc length. It should be 2 to 4 mm. Arc length should be proper and constant during welding to obtain the good results. Now coming to the electrodes, the electrodes are used for providing heat input in arc welding. The electrodes are used for providing heat input in arc welding, and the electrodes can be classified on the following basis. One is called consumable or non-consumable. Another is called as a bare or coated electrodes. In the consumable electrodes, when the arc is obtained with a consumable electrodes, the weld metal and the tip of the electrode also gets melted under the arc, and the molten metal from the electrode and the base metal gets mixed under the arc and provides the necessary joint. So in the consumable, so in this type of process, once the arc is ignited, the electrode is continuously consumed. Thus, the electrode is serving the purpose of filler rod as well as the heat input to the joint. And the consumable electrodes are made of various materials depending upon the purpose and chemical composition of the metal to be welded. Next one is the non-consumable electrode. The non-consumable electrodes are those electrodes which are not consuming during welding. Separate filler rods, if necessary, can be used to fill up gap along the joints. So the non-consumable electrodes are made of carbon, graphite or tungsten, and the carbon and graphite electrodes are used only in DC welding, whereas tungsten electrodes are used for both DC and AC welding. So we can have better control over the heat input and the metal because the sources are separate. So the non-consumable electrodes are used in carbon arc welding or tungsten inner gas welding. Shortly it is called as a TIG. Next one is the bare electrodes. If the electrode is not coated with flux, it is called as the bare electrode. In the bare electrode will be added separately if it is necessary, and the bare electrodes are used in carbon arc welding and tungsten arc welding, and the striking of arc is difficult with this type of electrode, especially with the AC supply. Now is the coated electrode. The coated electrode is that if the electrode is coated with flux, it is called the coated electrode, and the coating of the electrode serves many purposes. The coated electrodes, also called stick electrodes, is available in the length of 350 or 350 to 450 millimeter. Once the major concern with the coated electrodes is the moisture pick up by the coating, and this moisture dissociate the oxygen and hydrogen with the hydrogen being absorbed by the liquid metal and subsequently released during the solidification, causing porosity. So there should be kept in a dry places. बाकी चीज कल करेंगे. डेट ऑफ एग्जाम आपको पता होना चाहिए.